What's the story, bro? That's a question we always get asked. My name's Luke, this is His Story Bro, and I'm going to tell you a story about Ibn Al-Hazen. He's one of those famous guys, famous in history and everything. I don't know. Anyways, he is one of the world's first scientists. He came up basically with the scientific method. Well, not the entire thing, but definitely the way that experiments are run and how to answer a hypothesis versus just throwing stuff out there and seeing if it sticks. This guy, Ibn Al-Hazen, was really freaking awesome. And his Latinized name is Ibn Al-Hathym, so same guy, same thing. I call him Hazen because that was his Islamic name as far as that goes. Beyond that, he was born in 965 AD in Basra, Iraq. He died in Cairo in 1040 AD. And alright, so now that you know a little bit more about his early life, you're probably wondering, hey, what did he do? Why is he so important? I mean, we touched on some of it, but he kind of decided, hey, I'm gonna go and maybe tackle Ptolemy's second work, which is on optics and how our eyes work, receive, and like send rays out to other things. And Hazen wasn't quite convinced that they were right at the time, because their theories on the way your optics worked, your eyes, basically the ways those worked, is either the object you were looking at shot rays to you, or your eyes actively shot rays to that object and the object shot back to you, and that's how you knew it was there. The other thing that's interesting about Al-Hazen is he used his whole scientific hypothesis to say, hey, I don't know, I can't see an object in the dark. And so if rays were true, wouldn't your eyes be able to see in the dark? So he decided to set up a little experiment, by like covering the light, a little pinhole in a room or whatever, and he could see that, hey, the light actually lights things up. That's pretty cool. So for him, that was his first true experiment as to how that works. He did other things as well, like Ptolemy. He goes back to the Ptolemaics a lot, and Ptolemy is a Greek philosopher who we'll get into in another video. I mean, Al-Hazen was so badass that he decided, hey, I can control the Nile. He came up with a plan to control the Nile long before we did it in 1902, or the Egyptians did it in 1902, the Aswan Dam, because they wanted to control the droughts and the floods. And for him, he thought he could do that. He came up with a plan for it. He got invited by Al-Hakim, the mad caliph at the time, the Fatimid caliph, and Al-Hakim was like, hey, I need you to control the Nile. You said you could. And when he got there, he realized he didn't have the resources or the manpower to do so. So Al-Hazen told Hakim, no, I can't do this. And he got in trouble for that, and basically had to convince the caliph not to kill him. And the caliph decided, okay, I won't kill you, but I'll put you on like house arrest. And that's where Hazen did a lot of his work. A lot of it was in Egypt, even though he was from Iraq. So that pinhole camera I referenced earlier in the video was about the camera obscura. So basically he went into a tent, made sure it was black out, like completely dark, and he put one small hole in it. And what he wanted to do is he wanted to see if light was in a straight line or not. He was the first one to figure out that light actually can bend. And he did this with primitive technology by today's standards. They call it a camera obscura because it kind of is the father of the cameras of modern day, because it took a smaller image and made it bigger by some scientific stuff. But all in all, I definitely suggest you get to know Al-Hazen a little bit better, and if you have time, look up Hazen's problem or Al-Hazen's problem and maybe do a little research of your own, and you might be surprised by what you find. Also, for this video, I would love comments, suggestions, how to make it better, what was wrong with it, anything you'd like me to add, what you think I missed, because I tried to go over the main points to give people something to go off of, to maybe look up more, and eventually I'm hoping to get some scholarly sources. Thanks for watching. My name is Luke. Stay tuned for my next video. Hopefully I'll have it out in a week or so.